Welcome to the Good Place Marionville podcast, dedicated to highlighting the good right here in Marionville, Missouri. This week has already had us experience several different seasons of weather. While we pray for the orchards to survive and the fields to get ready for planting, there is a lot of good happening right here in Marionville that we want to focus on today. So, in the midst of turmoil and uncertainty, I just want to remind you of the purpose of this podcast, which is to highlight the good that is happening in our town, and there is a lot to highlight. So first, let's look back at this great items from this past week. The ladies' Comet Basketball team got third in state. This was such a great accomplishment, and they had so much community support while they played. And I just want to say, way to go, girls. You did a great job, and it was fun to see people rallying around you. The Marionville's powerlifting team set some state records as well. The girls' team won first in state, and the boys' team placed third. Powerlifting takes a lot of dedication and hard work, and we are proud of all of these students that represent Marionville so well. Also, the Winterguard that we talked about last week received second place in Fayetteville last weekend, and their final competition is going to be coming up the same day as the running of the Squirrels. So that's very exciting for them. I am sure there are other sports activities that have happened. These are just some of the ones that people reported in to me. Also reporting in, Principal Matt Price reported that Marionville Middle School ELA department received 2 awards from the Prime Center this year for academic growth. Their first one was for ranking 9th in the state for overall growth in ELA for last year, and first in the state for growth over the last 3 years. People always say we have such great schools, and this is just one more example of how great our schools really are. So way to go there. So other big news for this week, Jamie Bella announced that we are painting the Ville green for Care to Learn. So make a donation at Sonic, Bank of Billings, or Smart Insurance, and you can pick your donation amount, and you will get their green helping hand paper that you can put up on a window somewhere and proudly support Care to Learn. And Sonic actually got a head start on this and already have their windows filled with the helping hands. Care to Learn is such an amazing organization, and in Marionville, it is taking care of needs that most of us will never know about. So let's support this fundraiser and see green all over town. While we are talking about meeting needs, the food pantry at the City Hall parking lot is another way to meet needs for one person at a time right here in town. I want to encourage you to consider picking up some extra canned goods or box goods, things that you could get when you're grocery shopping that can be put into the box at the City Hall. And there are many people right now that are hungry or struggling to feed their family. So we can all do a little to make a difference. So I encourage you today to make that a priority and share from what you have, or share something that extra that you can buy and help meet those needs. I want to encourage everyone to join the celebration tomorrow, Thursday, March 19th at 9:30 a.m. for the groundbreaking of the Logan Park Walking Trail project. This will kick off the project, and we hope the town will come and join in the long-awaited celebration. I'm not sure how long the construction will take to get this done, but I do hope that many of you will plan to take advantage of the walking trail once it is completed. And then continue supporting our town by attending the Alderman meeting Thursday night at 6:30 at the fire station. I believe this will be the last meeting of the current board before the elections, and I urge many of you to come. I know on social media we see a lot of opinions about how things are done, but these are open meetings that are a great way to see firsthand how decisions are made and why. And it's really important for citizens to be involved all of the time, not just when things are happening that they may not agree with. So I really want to encourage you to attend that meeting, and also do your homework for the upcoming elections on April 7th. You have some choices for positions as well as a couple of questions on the ballot that you get to help decide the outcome through your vote. So I'll put a link to the sample ballot in the show notes and encourage each of you to do your homework, look at it ahead of time, and be prepared when you go to the polls, because sometimes the questions can be confusing and we want to make sure that your vote matters the way that you want it to. This episode of the Good Place Marionville podcast is sponsored by the Bank of Billings. Big banks count numbers. At Bank of Billings, they count neighbors. They are proud to serve the people, families, and businesses that make our community strong. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. In nonprofit news, Stephanie at the Ozark Methodist Manor reports that they celebrated St. Patrick's Day with a luncheon and a party. They will be hosting a spring piano concert to celebrate the first day of spring. And they're inviting everyone to join us for the annual community Easter egg hunt this Saturday, March 21st at 10 a.m. And it will be held on the backside of the health center off Lion Street by the pavilion. So get your kids ready, bring them out. This will be such a fun event. And then looking ahead, you will see that the Marionville Ministerial Alliance will be hosting their annual Good Friday service at the First United Methodist Church here in Marionville on April 3rd at 6 p.m. This is a very special time for the community to come together, and I encourage you to get that on your calendars for Good Friday. Speaking of churches and other good news, First Baptist Church just officially hired a worship leader and a youth pastor. So this is really exciting news for the community as they expand and extend more and more help to the teens and different age groups of the youth. Remember, there is more happening on March 28th. So a couple Saturdays in a row, we have a lot going on here in town that is good news. The 5K running of the Squirrel and the Fire Department Auxiliary Egg Drop, Burger Lunch, and Pie Auction. That's right, 2 weekends in a row of egg hunts. So much fun for kids, for neighbors. Time for all of us to really spend together in community, and I sure hope it's going to be great weather as well. In business news, Thursday, March 19th is our monthly Marionville Business Connect meeting from 4 to 5 p.m. at Central Place. And we would love for you to come and get connected to the business community where great things are happening and relationships are growing. We started this group at the end of 2023, and over the years, we have really been able to see relationships be fostered, business activity being encouraged, and business community just being built as more and more businesses come together, get to know each other, find out what they do in their business and how we can support each other, and learn new things along the way. So if you've never attended one of our meetings, but you run or manage a business in or around Marionville, you have a seat at the table. Please join us this month, March 19th, and mark your calendar for the next few meetings, April 16th and May 21st. That is the third Thursday of the month. You know, there's a lot of good news that's happened, a lot to highlight. There are things that I know that I didn't get reported, but I need you, the reporters in the community, to share the good news with me. And so I encourage you to email me at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com, and you can report the good news there. Thank you to the Bank of Billings for supporting and sponsoring this podcast. Consider becoming a sponsor. You can contact us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com to learn more. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when each episode releases. Thank you for joining us for the Good Place Marionville podcast. Keep your eyes out for the good, and together we can celebrate Marionville.